your paperwork. Yep.
It's for two of us.
Let's keep that. All right. Fireplace. Take that as well. Good. All right. All right, y'all. Howdy. My name's Walter. I will be guiding you guys through this lovely prison right here. So, I'm a little bit about myself. Thank you very much. I'm in here for cannibalism. So my last group was not so lucky, but y'all are gonna get out through here just fine. Now, enough about me. I heard a rumor about all of you, about why y'all are in jail. So apparently the whole lot of you were at that party last night in the Hotel Ponce de Leon. Mr. Henry Flagler, he found out that y'all trashed the place and he's not too happy with you, so I want to know who was swinging on the chandeliers. Okay, so like 4 or 5 of you. Okay, that's a lot more than I expected. Ma'am, I heard you were doing backflips. Is that true?
I guess.
Oh, do you want to show everyone your backflip? No, it wasn't her. Okay. Well, so one of you also brought a donkey up to the 4th floor. Who did that?
That was me.
Okay, and you're pretty proud of it. That was me. Yeah, you're really proud of that too. Okay. Well, congratulations. It's still up there today. They don't know how to get down. And then finally, this is the worst one. So there used to be a beautiful fountain out front until somebody put a bath bomb in it. Who did that? Who did? Okay, it's Bubbles. Yeah, it's Bubbles down there.
Sorry.
Oh wow, and y'all just sold her out, so you're a snitch too. Okay, you too. All right. Stay aware of them. All right. Well,
No.
now that I know a little bit about you, I'm going to tell you about your new home. Now, when this jail was built, it was actually the 2nd jail in St. Augustine. The first was located all the way downtown, next to all of Henry Flagler's hotels, and he was not a fan of that. For those of you who might not be familiar with Mr. Henry Flagler, he was the 2nd richest man in the world. Time came down here in the late 1800s on his railroad, and he was responsible for turning St. Augustine into a tourist trap for all those rich friends he had. Now, he built the Hotel Ponce de Leon. It was outfitted with electricity and this beautiful stained glass, and of course its next door neighbor was going to be the jail. So he's losing business because of us inmates making fun of all his rich people friends. Who here likes making fun of rich people? Yeah. All right. Oh, I could tell you did, tie-dye. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, great. We're going to get along real well then. My favorite hobby. Now, he doesn't like that. He's losing business. So he's going to go to the city council and complain like he always does. Then he's going to ask them to move the jail. They said no. He's going to offer them $10,000. They say yes. So $10,000 later, we have a brand new jail over here built in 1891. Now he had one extra request for this new building. He wants to make sure that it blends in with the surrounding neighborhood and that it doesn't scare away people from St. Augustine. You know, it keeps a good impression of the city. So they paint a beautiful coral, pink, red, salmon color, whatever you'd like to call this, and they build it in a Queen Anne Victorian style. And now people are mistaking it for a hotel. Right, we're back to square one. Now, of course, every time people would knock on that door, they were greeted by our sheriff, Joseph Perry. We're going to talk a little bit more about him once we get over to that bird cage. So that is your next stop. All right. Okay, over to the bird cage, y'all. Right this way. This area is known as the Attitude Readjustment Center. Now, our sheriff, Joe Perry, he's known as the judge, jury, and executioner. So each and every time someone got arrested here, well, they weren't really given a fair trial. They were sent over to the stocks and stuck in there for about 10 hours. And that's already pretty bad, but even worse was this bird cage right behind me. So does anyone know what kind of birds we get here in jail?
Jailbirds?
Jailbirds. Oh, I liked your enthusiasm, ma'am. You know what that means? Get in! You're a jailbird now. Congratulations.
This is my first time in jail.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
First time in jail.
Quickly, that's not a fun place. Well, ma'am, what's your
Why is
name?
the bottom done wrong? I'm here.
Carrie. Okay, so Carrie, you're going to be in this cage for about 7 days. Okay? Okay, and jailbirds are going to fly, so you're going to fly. Don't you worry, there is a floor on that thing. Okay? But you're going to be all the way up to the very top of that tree for about 7 days.
Oh, wow.
You okay with that, Carrie?
I am.
Well, bad news. We get lots of windy thunderstorms here.
Okay.
And you are in a big steel cage in the middle of the lightning capital of the world.
Yeah.
Carrie here is the jail's newest lightning rod. Give it up for the lightning rod, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. See you in about 7 days, Carrie.
Okay.
The rest of us are going to go over here now.
That's how you guys. That's how you cook the people eat.
Everyone. So I know what y'all are thinking. You're taking a look at this porch and you're thinking, okay, this is not such a bad place to stay. Unfortunately, this is not where we're staying. This happens for the sheriff. These deputies get to stay in those 2 lovely bedrooms up top. As for us, we're going to be over there with the jail walls. Now, back in the day, there was no glass on any of those windows, which meant that this was called an open-air jail. And an open-air jail means that there's going to be animals inside with you. Do we have any animal lovers here? All right. Ma'am, do you like rats, bats, possums, raccoons?
No, I don't like all that.
No. Okay, what about birds? Do you like birds?
I can do birds.
Okay, congratulations. We get the Florida State bird, the mosquito.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time. Okay, she's out again. So not only are you dealing with animals and different insect infestations, you're going to have to deal with the heat. So if it's 90 degrees outside, it's going to get up to about 115 degrees in that cell. If it's raining outside, congratulations, the building floods, you got yourself an indoor swimming pool. Hopefully y'all know how to swim, all right? Okay.
So,
Your eyes adjusted.
Don't be shy, y'all can come all the way in. We all know each other now. Whether we want to or not, we're inmates. Roommates. Somebody. All right, y'all. So the 2 cells you guys just passed by, those were for all of the ladies. So yes, ladies, we did not forget to arrest you. You would get arrested too back in the day. Things like showing your ankles, collarbones, shoulders, being out in public without a band. Things like that. Yay, women's rights. Now, those are awfully small cells already, but here's the worst news. There's going to be about 10 ladies in each of those 2 cells.
Oh my God.
So, yes. 2 beds, oh yes. And the worst part about those beds, well, does anyone here know what Spanish moss is? Y'all know Spanish moss?
yeah.
Y'all know what's inside Spanish moss? Bugs, yeah. So you're going to be sleeping right on top of a mattress full of Spanish moss. Sleep tight, y'all. Now, a more unfortunate news is coming your way. Well, actually, it's good news. So each cell is outfitted with its own personal bathroom, a bucket. So yeah, your bucket is going to be emptied by the guards once a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Now, with that being said, just say these wide open windows with no glass. It's a very good thing if you're placed in a cell that does not have any windows. Now, as for this room right here, this is known as maximum security. Now, all the men in this room, they were more violent type. We're talking about arsonists, murderers, stalkers, horse thieves, people from New Jersey. Here too. Now, I'm going to get started off with our jewelry collection. This right here is our friendship bracelet. It goes around your ankle, and it's going to chain you to a group of 20 other men. Men will be each placed in a chain gang, and those chain gangs are rented out to work on the railroads, the fields, and farms, of which the jail is getting all of the money from. Now, to make sure these chain gangs don't escape, yeah, you're going to have yourself a ball and chain around your other ankle. And does anyone want to take a guess at how much it weighs?
12 pounds.
12 pounds. I like that. I like the confidence in that area. 12 pounds. 40. 40. All right, we're going up. Any other guesses?
20.
20. 20 going once. 20 going twice. It's 5 pounds. I tricked you. So this is a hollowed out ball. They're going to fill it up with water and sand. And once this is filled up, bam, it becomes about 80 pounds.
80. Wow.
No one's going nowhere with this thing. I've tried several times and I'm still here. So. Now, that cell right back there, that pitch dark cell, that is our solitary confinement cell. Now, let's say you didn't learn your lesson at the Attitude Readjustment Center. Well, they're going to send you right over there, leave you in there for about 2 days, 2 weeks, maybe even 2 months, depending on what you did. The
Well,
worst part is that there is no bucket in there, and there is no bed. You are in a bare room all by your lonesome for the next 2 months, and good luck, because there ain't no roommates in either. Once they shut that door on you, the only sunlight you're going to be seeing is when they remember to feed you once a day. You might get bread and water if you're lucky. Of course, that water might make you a little sick. So if you get sick, well, you're going to make your way right across the room to our medical ward. Yeah, it's not much of a medical ward. Once you're in there, you're going to wait for a doctor that will never come help you. In fact, the only time this place ever sees a doctor is during the day of an execution. Ain't that fun? And finally, speaking of which, we got our death row cell over here. I like to call it the room with a view. That's because you're looking out at your own gallows. Of course, if you're not building them yourself. You see, the punishment back in the day was to send death row inmates in there for the last 30 days of their life. Each and every one of those days, they were responsible for going outside and building their own gallows. And of course,
joy.
coming back inside at night and looking at their future final resting place. Now, with that being said, that picture right there is a picture of one of our executions here. That photograph was taken in 1906, and the man standing in the middle of the gallows is Sim Jackson. Now, Sim Jackson, he murdered his wife one day in a very cutthroat way, if you know what I'm getting at, and he got sent to death row. Now, he's, carrying a bouquet of flowers, he has his nicest suit on, because he wants to make a speech to everyone who's watching. Now, back in the day, there was always an audience for the executions. People paid a whopping 25 cents per person to go watch the executions, and over 500 people showed up to his that day. Lastly, you might notice a very tall figure in the cowboy hat right next to him. That is Sheriff Joe Perry I've been talking about. Now, he's about 6'6", weighs over 350 pounds, and it certainly shows in that picture. Now, back in the day, it was, illegal to take a picture of a hanging. So this person kind of got away with it. And fun fact is the person who took this picture was a tourist. Yes, a Florida tourist. So, fun for the whole family. All right, who's hungry? Too bad, we're eating. We're going to the kitchen. Nope. Anyone behind you?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay. Right. So, now that we've all made it to our kitchen, I think it's, we have some good news. We actually eat 3 meals a day. Bad news. We eat grits for breakfast. Does anyone here like grits? Okay, what do you guys like on your grits?
Shrimp.
Guess what we don't have?
Shrimp.
Yeah, we don't got shrimp. No salt, no butter, no cheese, no shrimp, no seasoning, no fun. Yeah, we're eating our grits plain every day for breakfast. And for lunch, who here likes beans? All right, good news. You get boiled beans for lunch. The real question is, does anyone here love beans? Because you're getting it again for dinner. And does anyone know what we get for dessert? Any guesses?
Beans.
Beans. Creative answer, not quite. We actually get something different here. We get anything we find on the side of the road is ours for the keeping.
A rat.
Now, if you don't like beans, you don't like grits, you get hardtack. Now, hardtack is made of salt, water, and flour, and it sounds like this. Ma'am, you want a bite?
Yeah.
I know you think this looks good. Come on, okay. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna take your hardtack, you're gonna dunk it right inside of your coffee, you're gonna let it soften up, and the thing about hardtack is that bugs, weevils, they like to crawl inside and lay eggs. So not only are you gonna have to wait for it to soften up, you're gonna have to wait for all those weevils to float to the tippy top. And of course, you get two choices, you pick them out or
Eat 'em.
eat them.
Eat
I
'em.
like the way y'all think. You got your
Protein.
shake. Now the last thing we got here going on. Well, the ladies who had to work in this kitchen, female inmates, they were not allowed to see any of the men face to face. So they're gonna have to use this dumb waiter to get the food upstairs to the rest of the inmates. Now if you give this thing 2 bangs, it goes up to the 2nd floor. 3 bangs, you're not gonna believe it, guys. It goes up to the 3rd floor. Ain't that exciting? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna make our way over to our share. Oh.
That's Henry. Was a high food guy. Yeah, that's sure. That's the sheriff talking.
Okay, so it's a little bit nicer than the rest of the jail. I'll give him that. So he had gas-powered lighting up there, 2 gas-powered fireplaces. Yes, he had 2 fireplaces in the state of Florida for some reason. And he would also have a picture of his family when he was about 14. Now, this is his father, this is his mother, and that right there is Joe. At 14, he'd be about 6'1", with plenty of room to grow. Yes, he was at the same exact height as his mother at the time. Now, the other things that he would keep in here would be that fingerprinting kit right over there. That is the first in the state of Florida, and it was shipped over here from Scotland Yard. Yes, Scotland Yard in 1892. Now, fingerprinting starts as a method in 1850. The first crime solved by fingerprinting, all the way in 1892. So it took them about 40 years to figure things out, but after that, yeah, they got a hold of it. Then you have the telephone over there. So back in the day, there were only 17 phones in all of St. Johns County. Now all the 17 phones are connected to each other with a party line. So yes, it's exactly what you're thinking. One phone rings, all of them are going to ring. Yeah. All right, who wants to hear a terrible joke?
Sure.
So what would happen to me if I took that phone off the wall and snuck it into my cell?
Get one.
Yes.
Cell phone.
And then I would also get a cell phone. Right, everyone boo him. That's not me. And then I would die, so you're not wrong. Yep, cell phone. And then lastly, you got the typewriter over there. So that was actually a gift to Joe in about 1915 when the Oliver No. 9 came out. The reason it was a gift, he had horrible handwriting. Every time he would write an arrest warrant, no one knew who they were supposed to be arresting. So yeah, a lot of wrong people were sent to this day. Yeah. Well, it's about time that we go upstairs to general population. So,
Watch steps here.
watch your step, everyone. Got a couple steps down over here.
Oh, God, that's good. He's pretty tall.
Watch your step. Watch your step. All right, so it appears that Joe Perry likes to keep a watchful eye over our general population area. So this upstairs area, the second and third floor, general population, where the majority of the men would be held. So you got about 14 cells total and as many as 110 men. Now, when they first built this place, they thought maybe 72 men would be up here. So there's only about 40 beds. You have over 100 men sharing that little amount of beds, and they're sharing a cell that is so small, you have to enter it sideways. The average sentence for all these men, anywhere between 3 to 5 years, but it didn't really matter in the end because the average life expectancy was 2 years if you were lucky. That meant that anyone who came to this jail was never ever getting out, especially since it was built by the same men who built Alcatraz. Finally, this jail did close in 1953. And with that being said, everyone who entered ever since then never really got to escape until they were pardoned by me. So yeah, I'm going to pardon each and every one of you. Don't you worry. So that means I must let you go. You get to walk around and go inside the cells, plus those 2 rooms over there, as much as you'd like. Whenever you are ready to exit, I ask that you exit through this door, not from the stairs you came up. You can take your pardon cards with you, ain't that pretty? You can take a comment card with you. If you like to, my name's Walter, and if you didn't, it's Toby. And anything that goes in the commissary box goes straight to the sheriff. Anything that goes straight to me goes to my bail fund. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be over here, but if not, enjoy your freedom, y'all. It's been a pleasure.
Anybody ever escape?
Only 2 managed to. They escaped out of the sweat box, and they were found about 2 days later, sent right back.